Just give a thumbs up, lads, if you can hear me all right. Just give us a thumbs up, lads, if you can hear me. All right, Coops, mate. How's life, mate, all right? Just waiting for SMUDGE to come on, lads, and we'll start the talk. SMUDGE, mate, I've sent you a link to join the group, mate. Just waiting for SMUDGE to come on, lads, and then we'll start the talk. Can everyone hear me all right, yeah? Just put a thumbs up if you can hear me. All right, here's SMUDGE now, lads. Hi, SMUDGE,
How you doing, dude?
Yeah, good, mate. How's life?
Yeah, good, mate. You?
Yeah, very good, mate. Very good. What are you up to? Just chilling.
I've just been up to the unit, just sorting a few bits and pieces out,
Yeah.
ready for the missus to take over tomorrow. But
That's good,
apart
mate.
from that, just chilling, mate.
That's good, mate. All cool here, mate. Just happy to have you on, mate, for this talk. Going to make it a weekly thing where we have entrepreneurs on. We have just alley fuckers really come onto the show and talk about what they've done since they've left the military, mate, and what they're doing now in life. The reason why I brought you on, mate, is because I'm a big believer in what you're doing as a community for Redcoat Apparel, and obviously the clothing brand that you've made. And to be fair, mate, I followed you from the start, as you know, and obviously been on the circuit and stuff. So it'd be good to have a little chat about that as well. How's life your end tonight? All good?
Yeah, things are good, mate. I'm still working at the moment, obviously with all this coronavirus shit and that.
Yeah.
So I'm still working. Redcoat's still going, although we were down for about 2 months.
Yeah.
When it first kicked off, our suppliers shut up shop and virtually we were just ran dry with stock. But now we're back at it.
Yeah, that Boris Johnson said, isn't he, just then that they'll start looking at open shops maybe July, August time. So it's good for
Yeah.
blokes who are home, mate, whose businesses such as yourself. But you're right, I know, because you've got internet shopping and stuff, haven't you? So
Yeah, we're good on that point of view, mate. But it's the lads who, like yourself, who are trying to get back out.
Yeah, mate. Well,
back
yeah, I've got geezers, mate, good mates in Iraq, Lebanon, fucking everywhere, mate. They've been stuck for months, and obviously they can't go home, mate. Which is I'm gutted about, because obviously I'm at home with my family. I feel a bit guilty, if I'm honest. They're over there, and I'm here with my family. Where I'd rather be at work, because that means I'm achieving something by the minute, obviously. feel guilty for the lads who are in Iraq, Afghanistan, Lebanon, and the rest of them, mate. But
It's kind of like
it's the world we're
extreme
in.
self-isolation, isn't it?
It is, mate. Yes, so some blokes have been out for fucking months, mate, 14, 15 weeks. So it's fucking crazy shit, isn't it?
It is, dude. Yeah. I wouldn't want to be in that position. I mean, some of the gigs I'd been on, the rotations were like 4 months at a time, and that I think that was about it. Like, I wouldn't have been able to handle anymore.
Yeah, well, you know, it's like me. You've got mates yourself out there who don't even know when they come home yet, which is fucking mad, mate. And obviously, we didn't know when we can go back to work. So obviously, plays. But before we start, anyway, mate, we'll just talk about what you are, what you've done, and why you're on the show, mate. Okay. So first of all, we'll talk about, mate, is before you joined the army, what did you get up to? The age you joined, and stuff like that.
All right. So I was born in County Durham. I come from a military sort of family, so to speak.
Yeah.
A lot of my family were, like, the majority of them were sort of light infantry or rifles. There wasn't really many who sort of like went to field from that.
Yeah.
But my dad was in the artillery, and from the very outset, from being a young age, like, that's all I'd ever wanted to do, basically. Always wanted to join the army, and then sort of leaving school, got a job, started my application, and joined the army in December 2000. And then from there, went into training in January, and went through training in Basenborn. But I originally set out to join Royal Regiment of Fusiliers.
Yeah.
Which was a bit sort of weird, like within the family and things like that.
Well, was it the screw in the careers office? Or?
So halfway through training, they started doing all these, you know how it is with all the recruitment drives and things like that from the various different units, and 473 came and give theirs. And it just, like, as a young little crowbag, sat in the cinema room, like, looking at this thing, you're like, oh my fucking God.
This is Ali as fuck,
you know? Yeah, this is Ali. That's what I want to be, and I changed cap badge. And all the staff were the majority of the staff were PWRR, Royal Anglian, and Royal Regiment of Fusiliers. So they were like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, go to battalion, you know, if you still want to pursue it, then crack on. It's all arms anyway, so.
Exactly.
Sorry, just looking at some of these fucking comments popping up.
That's what I'm reading as well. I'm trying to read it, mate. People say it's still a crow and stuff, and.
But yeah, that was like kind of the turning point, the 473 thing.
Yeah.
But the downside to that was I would have had to go to 5th Regiment Royal Artillery and sort of spend a couple of months in a regular battery.
Yeah, same.
So I had to do that prior to going on it. But when I got to regiment, I think I got to regiment around about April time. And when I got there, they put me in QHQ battery. And QHQ battery at the time were part of the AMF, part of the NATO strike force.
Yeah.
And they were doing some pretty Gucci stuff. So out of them, I got to do my Arctic Warfare course. As soon as I got to regiment, I pretty much went to Turkey and went on exercise there. So it was all go. And then I didn't really pull the trigger on it until 2003. So I went on selection in 2003 for 473.
Yeah. So before you did selections, you have to do like. Obviously, yeah. Can you hear me? Can you?
Cut out there.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, got you, dude.
Yeah. So do you have to do a brief? Go straight onto the pre-selection aptitude, or?
No, it was just pretty much straight onto it, dude.
Yeah. So you did training as a crow, and you went straight onto selection, straight onto 473. Yeah.
I wouldn't say straight away. I had about 2 years in regiment.
Oh, mega, yeah, same.
And sort of boosted my fizz and things like that. Yeah. And then I went on 473 battery selection then. The only thing is, with that selection I did, it's an 18-week selection course.
Yeah.
On that particular one, I VW'd on week 14.
Yeah.
I pulled myself off. Things were getting serious between me and my missus, and I was a little bit construct, so to speak, and I was like, and I dampened on things. And then I came off that selection course sort of with a mindset to then leave the army.
Yeah. Well, straight off selection, straight into fucking chinning it off.
Yeah, like just chinning it all off. But it never happened. When battery, potted around the regiment for a bit and realised I'd made like a massive mistake.
Yeah.
I was on for a pass and it was just me, my arse fell out. So sort of started getting back into the air, like getting my head back into the swing of things, started fizzing it again, and then 2005 went back on selection.
Did you feel like you had matured enough? Well, did you mature during that time? Do you feel like you knew what you were doing and what you wanted to achieve, so you were focused more in the second?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
100%, mate. It gave me. I was more determined, and the hunger was there, so to speak, to do it.
Yeah. And then, so what was selection? Because I get a lot of lads asking me, reference this sort of stuff for 473. Yeah. So what was the selection process? Obviously, on selection for S tier 1, you've obviously got the hills. You've got obviously after that you've gone to trees under sea and stuff. But what about 473, the aptitude phase? What sort of stuff do you do in that?
So at the time, or prior to 2005, 473 battery had always had a Hereford PSI attached to them.
Yeah.
And they pretty much created the, and it was, they based it around sort of a mini selection, so to speak.
Yeah.
So they took all the attributes from sort of Hereford and things like that and threw it all onto it. So you already have like an understanding of where it's gone. We'd swapped and changed the selection ground. So originally it was over in Otterburn, running at 4k an hour for the aptitude side of things. And then for mine, I was in Scotland running at 3k an hour because of the size of the hills and things like that. So pretty much, mate, it fucking kicks off pretty much from day one. So you have an introduction brief, and then you straight into your BPFA, and you do like your mile and a half where it's like 9:30 pass, the generic thing. I don't know if they do it anymore now.
Yeah.
And then you have a break, do a bleep test. I can't remember the pass, sort of the pass level for that.
Yeah.
I think it was like something. And then after that, you have like a little bit of lunch, another brief, and then you're straight on to the CFT.
Lost comms.
Can you hear me, dude?
Yeah, I can hear you. Lost comms there for a second. Yeah, I've got it back in me.
So basically, you have some lunch, and then you're on to the 8 miler over on the Carrick training area. So you do. I think they give you 2 hours, but they fucking beast you like. It's,
I remember
seeing.
Yeah, I remember seeing when I was a screw in depot. I used to see 473 got about on their CFT and stuff. He's doing the up London Odd and stuff, didn't you?
Yeah. It was Gopham, mate. So like the Hereford Sat Major, who was heading it all up. He fucking leads it like so.
Yeah.
It is a lick like, and so it's the generic 45-pound rifle, water, things like that. So you do that, get back, get changed, and then you're into a swim test. And that first day is like the sort of icing on the cake for whoever passes that, then goes up to Scotland and starts the
hill package,
the selection problem. Yeah. I mean, we lost something like 8 guys off day one. I think we started with something like 65, maybe something like that.
Fucking hell, mate, yeah.
And then we bounced up to Scotland. And then fucking day one up in Scotland, mate, straight at it. Like just getting beasted continuously. And you run through navigation, lessons and things like that for the first sort of 3 days, and you do like PT, and they beast you around the hills and
so once you're badged, then what is your? A lot of people might not know your generic role. I know you special OP battery and stuff, but what's your generic role for instance, if you were with an infantry battalion, what would you do? So it's a 6th Air Assault Brigade. They obviously have Pathfinder platoon, don't they? And then I remember a geezer from 473 was with them on Herrick 8. And so what was your generic things you normally do for, say, Afghanistan or Iraq? What were you up to?
So we had various roles throughout Herrick and Telek. Telek was primarily brigade surveillance. And Herrick was FSTs, brigade reconnaissance, and there was like specialised camera teams that pushed out onto the ground as well. So it was various roles, mate.
That's cool, mate.
That the battery took place in.
Yeah. And are you glad you did it?
Oh, 100%, mate. Yeah. You obviously wish that you'd gone off and done other things. Yeah, but 100%, mate. Glad I did it. But yeah, mate, it was a fucking lick.
Did you find that when you left? We'll come on to that in a minute. But did you find that once you're in that, with obviously that tier of lads who you want to be with, they all want to work, they all want to fucking soldier, and then you leave, don't you? Yeah. And then you go into, say, like you did, you went on to the CP circuit. So what made you want to leave the 473?
I kind of came off Herrick 11, and like my mindset was to go on selection.
Yeah.
So I started training for selection. I got back in sort of March time, 2010, and my mindset was like, go on selection. And there was a particular person in, I don't know for what reason, took a disliking to me.
Yeah.
And I just got fucked around. He was the BTO at the time. I just got fucked around. Put me on courses over my SFBC and things like that. And Battery Sergeant Major at the time, and just said, look, can you screw the nut? Like, for Herrick 11, I volunteered for it.
Yeah.
I was like, look, I volunteered for that too. Do you mind fucking screwing the nut and help me out? And it was like, no, you need to do it. It's like a career course. You can do it afterwards and this and that. So I was like, fuck it.
Yeah, it's fucking signed off.
Yeah, so I just went in, did the fucking JPA 6 clicks or whatever it was, and that was me.
Did you know you were going to go into CP or?
Yeah, straight from the offset, I'll just go do CP. A couple of lads who'd been out on the circuit had come back to the battery, so I just sort of, got around them and started chatting to them a bit, what to do, what not to do, best courses, things like that.
Who did you use? What CP course did you do?
I went with a local one,
and
the reason I did it was because they offered 2 weeks surveillance and 2 weeks CP.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, it was 4 weeks surveillance, 4 weeks CP.
Yeah.
And it was Argus, Europe.
Yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah, I heard of them.
Yeah, and it's run by a guy who's like former SRR. Fucking mad as a box of frogs, but it was a really good course, mate. I couldn't recommend it.
I was the same, mate. So I was about a year deciding if I was going to leave, decide if I was going to stay. And I was seeing all my mates, obviously on the industry, left, were working in Iraq, working in Afghanistan, and all. I'm thinking, right, there must be something else we can do apart from obviously being in the army itself. Don't get me wrong, I fucking love the army. I still miss it to this day. But I wanted not more out of life. I wanted to do something different in life, if you get me. So I left, mate. I had researched for like a year and a half, 2 years, maybe even more. And I seen all my mates were all doing the control risks CP course. And I was like, right, okay, I'm going to go and do the CRX control risk CP course, going to do their med training. I then decided on the med course I was going to do. So do you know Horizon, Paul Muir?
Yeah.
So
up in Scotland.
Yeah. So I'll go and do their med training. I did their Myra course and stuff like that. And then from there, mate, I decided, right, fuck it, I'm going to leave and obviously try and get onto the circuit. But you know what it's like, mate? It's touchy bum, isn't it? You don't know what the fuck's going to go on.
No, I was when I signed off, I I fucking pre-planned everything in advance. I had all the courses booked up. So I went and did Argus. I did their course, bounced straight off that, and then I went and did my FPOS with Prometheus.
Yeah.
And then pretty much after that, I was throwing CVs out because the army was offering early release. And I got my first interview popped up, and it was with Olive.
Yeah.
Went down, did the interview, passed it. They said, we're just waiting for places, blah, blah, blah. And it went quiet. And I think about 6 weeks later, I got an interview for Aegis.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty much went in there and got offered a job straight away on Project Matrix.
Yeah, Matrix teams. Yeah.
Yeah, it was epic. And you could, I mean, I'm not slagging Olive off or out like that, but you could tell the difference between the way Aegis ran it and Olive. So we were on SLT or SRT, one of the two, which were kind of like the reconstruction sort of recce teams.
Yeah.
So you didn't carry clients, but you had to do like pre-tests before the interview to see if you were eligible to go sit the interview, and it was quite thorough. And pretty much did the interview. They said, right, can you deploy next Sunday? Knowing I was still in.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, yeah, of course I can.
Yes.
For the regiment, they got the ball moving. Pretty much de-kitted Monday to Thursday. Had my leave and do, which was fucking quality.
Yeah.
Had my leave and do, and then Sunday I was on a flight out to Iraq.
So
it's crazy, mate.
Yeah. So you know, it's like you get lads asking like, I'm going to leave the army to do CP, or how long do you wait? But when you tell them the truth, you could be waiting fucking months before you even get a look in. Save your money now.
100%.
Yeah, save your money now. If you have a 13-year point, keep your 10 grand fucking bonus to be able to pay bills. But I think that's what the biggest thing is. I was like twitchy bum, had no house. I was literally trying to get a mortgage when I was still in the army, got a mortgage, moved into my house, left the army, flapping like 10 men, did my CP course, and touch wood, things went to plan then, mate. But you know what it's like, mate. You don't know what's going to happen. You never know what's around the corner.
No, 100%. I mean, the contracting world is so fucking fragile, especially now. I mean, the contracts are fucking going right front and centre, and it's probably worse with the current climate. But yeah, it was mega to get into the industry that quick.
Yeah.
But I had to put effort in. I was like fucking chucking CVs in all the time, like all day, every day.
I think that's
I'm shit at spelling as well, so I had to like get my missus to
proofread it.
Square me away. Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing, mate. The lads in the army, I'd say to them now that they see all this glamour about leaving the army, getting into the CP industry, but they don't see the lads who are fucking who are sick of it, as in like they're sick of being away from home. So there's pros and cons of the industry itself, and that's why I wanted to speak to you about it, because you left the army, went straight on to the Matrix teams, etc. You've been through that process now. Now you've come home back to the UK. So you've got lads in the army who are thinking, I want to leave to join the CP industry. And you've got lads in the CP industry thinking, I want to leave the CP industry to come home to family. So there's a big circle. And that's why I like to get lads like you on who have been through this system. So when you left the CP industry, when you come home, how did you find that?
I was going through my own issues, so I fucking found it hard, mate. And then I was going for interviews as well, and I had like over 4 years, coming up 5 years of worth of sort of, how can I put it, experience.
Yeah.
Being team leader out in Afghan with Global on DOD projects and things like that. Running missions with 4-star generals and shit who were like fucking White House leveling. And then also getting write-ups from them to not getting a job, like to going for interviews. Like mate, I couldn't even get out, mate. I was struggling to get out. Again, Olive went down there. Two of us from my project got took to one side, and it was like, yeah, lad, you've got a job. kept in touch, and then all of a sudden comms just went. But it's the contracting world. Contracts come and go. But on that side, like I was starting to get a lot of doubts in my head, and probably for the best, mate, because my head wasn't in the right place.
Yeah.
Like I was having like mega issues, like fucking with PTSD and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was going to come on to next, mate. Yeah. But I've been lucky, mate. I left the army and went out with. I'm not going to say the companies are, because I still work in the industry. But I went out and worked for 2 professional companies, mate. And I've only ever worked for 2 companies, and that's why I'm lucky, mate. Because these 2 companies I worked for is very professional management teams, obviously, and stuff like that are good. Where you hear fucking horror stories about lads who get stuck out with no visas. You hear about lads, obviously, the maritime industry, where lads with fucking Chennai, fucking 6 of those. And it's fucking horror stories, mate. You're thinking, fucking.
Yeah, it's a lot of the commercial contracts, which is why I tried sticking to DOD and sort of government projects. I went after Matrix. I went on to another Aegis project, which was fucking gleaming. It was just, it bored the tits, it bored the life out of me.
Yeah, I've got a lot of mates who work for Aegis, mate. They're meant to be good, aren't they? I like it. Well, I've heard about Aegis.
Yeah, they were good, mate. I just, you know how you are when you're young, you're just like, oh, I want to go out and fucking do some quality stuff, get on quality gigs, which is why I like pushed over to Global in Afghan. I was just chasing things, mate.
Yeah.
Chasing the invisible thing.
Yeah. Like I said, mate, I was lucky, mate. So I've worked for 2 companies. That's all I've ever worked for. I'm still a sprog in the industry, mate. Fucking crowbag. But the company I'm with now, fucking love it, mate. Good company. And the company I was with before, I fucking loved it, mate. So I've not had a bad dealing yet, where some blokes have obviously have fucking bad dealing with the industry itself.
Yeah, that's good, mate. I mean, I probably would have still been there if that gig was still going. Or, well, if it was still going.
Yeah.
But it came to an end, mate. The project just collapsed. They didn't need the contractors. They switched to the US Army for doing the protection teams and things like that. So it was like, it was just like, right, that's it. Go home.
So when did you think about making the Redcoat apparel then? This is what we're coming to now. So what gave you the idea?
So when I was out in Afghan, and it was kind of like when Rogue America first started off.
Yeah.
And all the shirts were coming out and things like that, and I quite liked it. I quite liked the ethos behind it, and what had gone into it. I liked the artwork, and just like, mate, they were just a quality brand. I mean, I'm wearing one of the caps now. I've had this like since fucking 2012.
Yeah.
Like I've got loads of their shirts that I still buy from them. But it was kind of like it was that mainly seeing another veteran sort of pull something out the bag like that. I just said I wouldn't mind doing something like that, and sort of I put a British stamp onto it, and sort of came back home twitching my thumbs, didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And the thought had started then, and I'd bought the domain name and some other bits and pieces, and just sat on it. One, because I didn't know what to do with my money at the time.
Yeah.
I obviously had to think job or chuck it. I wouldn't take that risk at that time.
Especially because you find when you look at your savings, mate, you think this has to last me my fucking lifetime. As in, like, you don't know what's going to happen. So that savings you get, I mean, you start spending that fucking savings, mate. You're like, fuck, I've just worked all that time for that savings to do it. Especially if you're waiting for a job, mate, and that savings goes down and down and down, and then you start getting a twitchy bum thinking, if I don't get anything in the next couple of months or weeks, I'm fucked. I'm going to start fucking doing some other stuff in the industry.
Yeah, I'm going to have to start selling all my alley kit.
Yeah, fucking glory holes and stuff.
Yeah.
It's fucking mad, mate.
But yeah, that's kind of what lit that flame with creating Redcoat. And then I ended up getting a job, and sort of everything went on hold, and I was just kind of like fighting to pay. Just bought a new house. We were just trying to pay the bills, so to speak, and
feed the kids and make the mortgages.
Everything just got put on hold, and then with the job I was at, I'm not going to say any names but yeah, I wasn't in the right frame of mind head-wise. I'd already went and seen combat stress and all that shit, and tried getting treatment. I got pilled up to the eyes, and like openly, I'll admit it, mate. I was like drinking heavily. I was popping codeine on a daily basis to try and chill me out, and mate, I was on a spiral, mate. So that workplace, I was making it worse because the people in there were fucking.
Did you find it went worse after you come off the circuit and come home because you were in a normal daily life, and you'd missed that brotherhood of being around lads, going to the gym with the lads, going to scoff? Did you find after you left the army, the CP world, and come home and your own little bubble, did you find your stress levels and anxiety, did you find them go through the roof?
Yeah, it was my missus who picked up on it. I was like benign to it all, but my missus, she was like, "There's something wrong with you. You're not right." And yeah, it just, the workplace was poison as well. So I just fucking dropped everything, mate. One Friday, I was like, I'm not going back.
Yeah.
And I'd done about 3 or 4 years with them, and I was like, I'm not going back. It's, I couldn't handle it anymore. So I went and worked with a lad from the battery, just to get out of there, and then put some funds together and started Redcoat. I was like, right, I'm fucking going for it, like, and that's when it all started, mate.
I just seen my mate Brad's there. Brad owns a tattoo shop, a veteran run and stuff. He's the same, mate. He left the PWRR, went into the tattoo industry, started from the bottom, mate. Now he's fucking got his own shop, fucking alley tattooist. But he's saying snap there because I think he's been through the same sort of scenario that, well, a lot of blokes have found a lot of blokes have, yeah, mate. They have.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys do. It's all about being honest with yourself as well. And I would say the last year is sort of, I've been on the fix. I went and got some private treatment and things like that. And then the thing that really sort of put a nail in the coffin and started like squaring me away was Rock to Recovery came up to the shop. Lee, first time I'd met the girl, and straight away she could see there was issues, and she was like, right, I'm going to square you away. And literally within 2 weeks, mate, I was sat in front of a therapist, and they do different treatment to your regular eye movements and whatnot, and mate, it's fucking done wonders.
I've heard some good stuff, mate. Everyone I speak to always talks highly about Rock to Recovery and stuff. They say it's fucking outstanding thing we can do for veterans and stuff for PTSD.
Yeah. Mate, they are outstanding. I mean,
did you have to go somewhere for that, or did they come to
you? Basically, I got given instructions for the nearest therapist. So they've got therapists dotted throughout the UK.
Oh, mega, yeah.
And they vet their therapists, so they only put the best out there.
Yeah.
And it was a case, right, be at Northallerton, and not only that, obviously with what's happened, my missus went through, she's gone through some shit, obviously because of me, and so my kids, so they put my missus and kids through therapy as well.
Oh, fucking outstanding, mate, yeah.
So they were all over it, mate. And I had a bit of a wobble about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And straight away, mate, I was hooked up straight away.
That's fucking good. Yeah, I get, obviously, being the community we are, mate, you get a lot of lads being honest, but it helps people like you who have been through the system of getting help, started your own business, and then still admit that now and again that the PTSD, that will still have anger issues. You're still going to have bad days, but it's overcoming those bad days to enable you to see the light the next day. Is trying to pass that on to the lads, because a lot of lads who are in a fucking dark hole, mate, they want to give up. They want to just go to sleep and never fucking wake up again. And it's trying to get these lads who are like that to see people like you and other people that bring on the show that there is light at the end of the tunnel. You're still going to have a fucking shit day, but you just need to try and push through that day to the next day to see if the light does come back up again. Sorry,
dude. There's a lad called George just popped up and said EMDR. Yeah, I did EMDR, Joe. But that worked, mate. It worked wonders. But Rock to Record, I can't remember the name of it. My head's fucked, mate. But they do a similar one, but they do different angles with the hand movements and things like that, and it's weird. And they also do this thing where they talk to your inner conscience. It's kind of like being hypnotized, but mate, I'm not lying. It just took my anger away straight away. Like 1 minute, it take like seconds to flip, whereas like now I'm as calm as ever, like proper chilled. It's weird, mate. It really is.
What we can do as well is at the end of this, we can go through the questions and stuff to answer the lads' questions. We've got loads of questions here, like lots of questions.
Yeah.
But at the end of this, before we bog out, we'll do some question and answers to the lads.
Yeah, definitely, dude. Sorry, what was your last question?
No, I was just saying about lads who are in a dark hole. We need to try and explain to them that I've never touch wood now. I've never had signs of PTSD. I've never had PTSD. So when I'm talking to lads on the website and stuff like that, I like to get the answers from people like you. And I ask questions all the time to people like yourself. What should I advise these people to do? And then it's down to things like this now that allows people to see there is light at the end of that fucking tunnel. And I had a message last night saying I'm in a fucking dark hole, mate. And I've been advised to say to people, if you push through to the next day, that light might come back up again. You might be all right. But you just need to keep pushing until you find the strength to be able to get help. And hopefully this today helps people realise, hold on a minute, I'm in a fucking shit place. If I grizz this out for a bit longer, I might be able to get help from the community itself.
Definitely. I think the main thing is finding like the right help as well. Like the right people to help. I know you guys do like a lot of stuff. But yeah, definitely finding the right help, getting the right advice. I mean, people who don't understand can give the wrong advice, especially like civvies and stuff like that.
Well, that's why I made the community, mate, because I had a friend killed himself when I was still in the army as guard commander, and I thought, fuck, there must be something we can do as a community, well, at the time, as a battalion to help each other. So I made, obviously, Warriors RV. There's only like 20 of us in it, mate, the original. And we all started, obviously, helping each other, having RVs. And then one of the lads added somebody else, and he added somebody else. And before you knew it, mate, there was all different cat badges, all different services in the community. Obviously, where we are today is fucking big. And even during COVID-19, we've helped so many lads, the community, with shopping, lads who couldn't fucking feed themselves because they were furloughed, who didn't get any payments, lads who were self-employed to fucking skin because they've spent all their savings for the last 3 months on mortgages, food for the kids. So just as we're only a small community, mate, in the realm of things. But if we become bigger, imagine the fucking good we could do to help each other.
Yeah, it is needed, mate. 100%, it is needed. I mean, there's nothing else like that outside of the community, really. I mean, you can go get treatment and whatnot, but for what Warriors RV offer, there isn't really much out there. I know there's other people trying to like sort of piggyback off what you've created, which is good. I mean, people are pushing the help out there, but for what yous do.
Yeah, so I get people bitching saying, oh, there's another group. But as long as that group that's been made helps one individual, mate, it's worthwhile.
Yeah, 100%. But it's fucking key that people do go get the help. Like, whether it's, I mean, I'm off my meds now, so I don't take meds.
Yeah.
I've been sober just over a year now. The coming off alcohol fucking helped big time.
I was the same,
that
mate.
Was my...
I stopped drinking after Hurricane, mate. I fucking chinned all the drink. I found that when I drank, I become angry. And when I was angry, I wanted to fight fuckers. And when I had a fight, I felt like it helped me for a couple of minutes, and then I wanted to fucking have a scrap again. So I thought, fuck, I'm going to chin drink off, because that can lead down a nasty road. You can either land up in jail, you can land up dead, or you can land up fucking losing everything. Your wife, your kids, your house, the lot. So I thought, right, just for the sake of a pint with the lads, I can still go out with drink fucking Coke or have a fucking water. But it's worth just, if you have a drink, whiskey, whatever, and you want to scrap, you go and takes you to a dark place, I'd recommend just fucking giving it up.
Yeah, or taking a break until your headspace is
in
like a good place. But I mean, I'm not saying I'm gonna stop drinking forever. I mean, I think this is like the second time I've stopped drinking. I stopped drinking for 3 years when I was in serving because I got in the shit.
Yeah,
And I was like, I need to fucking stop this.
Screw them out, yeah.
But yeah, I stopped about a year ago. Whilst I was going through my treatment in 2018, I could see me going like spiraling out of control. Like I was drinking every day. I was back taking codeine. Well, I was taking codeine anyway, but it was like,
How were you
it was
sleeping?
getting worse.
Were you sleeping in shit state? Were you sleeping at all?
Sleeping was fucking all over, mate. There'd be times where I'd be like up at 3 a.m, like eyes wide open,
Yeah.
and I'd be like, I'd just go out the house. I'd go for a walk. I'd go for a run. I'd get my dogs, go for a run with them, like at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
or something.
Exactly, yeah. Did that help?
Yeah, it did. Fizz is definitely it definitely helps
Yeah, fucking right, doesn't
big
it?
time. Yeah.
Helps all stress. It's not just post-traumatic stress. Helps even daily lifestyle now, mate. Where you see not just the military community, but civilians now, mate, who have fucking everything's on there. Everything they owned, everything they took for granted every single day has now been stopped because of this COVID-19. And you can see it, mate. People counting the money in the shop, but they don't normally do it. You can see them worrying about buying that extra packet of sweets for the kids and stuff, which is the anxiety through the whole British community, the whole world is obviously at peak. So I see a lot of people doing the fitness at the minute, and I'm thinking, yeah, if you can't do your fitness, having a routine in life,
Yeah.
your day goes smoother. And I still get up. You still get up early in the morning. You go to do your fizz. As long as you keep that routine and have a get out plan, as in like what you're going to do when this is all over, something to look forward to, I feel like your headspace can become a bit more better.
100%, mate. It's definitely like having a plan, having a routine, and like create something. For me, what changed the narrative was finding a new passion. My passion was soldiering.
Yeah.
That's all I ever loved. I loved being in the army. I loved being in the battery. I loved being around the blokes. On the circuit, you get the same mentality of blokes around you.
Yeah.
And then when you come out, I think finding a new passion as well as all the other important things, it just gives you goals in life, and it sort of, I don't know, it's a bit of a healing process through that.
Yeah, because we probably said it. I joined the army at 16, mate. Straight from school. I think I had like some holiday. Went to Harrogate as a fucking junior soldier. Passed out of Harrogate. Went to battalion. Obviously, do the pre-deployment training and stuff like that. Went to Iraq. So I always had that from since I left school. I've had that routine where you get up in the morning, you go fucking have a shower, you get a shave, you go on parade, and then from parade you go and do your fizz, scoff. So even now, mate, since I've left the army and went onto the circuit, I still feel like I'm in the army.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like I've left, because I'm still with mates who were in the battalion. I'm still with like-minded individuals. I'm still there with lads who can still do spins and bits, mate, who like doing fizz, who are more motivated than the normal civilian in a fucking warehouse, say. So I'm not scared, but I'm worried about leaving all that industry and coming back to work in a normal civilian job, because I haven't transitioned to that yet. I'm still in the phase where in my head I'm still in the army. If you get where I'm coming from, because I'm with my
I
mates.
do, mate.
And it's mad, mate, because you know, it's like when you go to a different contract, you go to a different gig, you know people because you've been in the army with them. You've been on juniors with them, you've been on, been on tours with them, you've done something. So you go to a different gig and then there's people there, you know.
Yeah, it's that's one of the I think that's one of the biggest challenges. I mean, for the lads who do suffer as well, it sort of, it makes it 10 times worse, so to speak.
Yeah.
But definitely fucking have a plan, mate. There's guys who I know who are getting out now and they're like, I'm going on the circuit, and you try and advise them on, like, there's not many gigs out there at the moment and things like that, and they still think they're going to get paid big bucks like they did fucking 10 years ago. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. So for those gigs, you need to be in the right place, right time, and know the right individual. There's still fucking massive fucking gigs out there, isn't there? You know that, and that fucking blokes are getting fucking mega wages on. But like you said, if I was lucky, mate, I left. I've worked for 2 fucking superb companies, like I said before, mate, where the management, the training, the weapons, the vehicles are all fucking like the army anyway. But I
Yeah, yeah,
reckon if you get a geezer leaves the army and goes to works for another company, so it's fucking shit. That's when, and they're not getting paid on time. Some people don't get paid on time, mates. You know, it's like this. That's when anxiety comes in. They fucking start fucking having meltdowns and stuff like that.
yeah.
That's why I find
I
that
agree,
blokes will
mate.
struggle. But even from the circuit, you get blokes working in warehouses and shit. I was speaking to a bloke last week who is suffering post-traumatic stress. Like I said before, he wasn't getting paid now because obviously he's been furloughed. But the money wasn't in the account because I don't know when furloughed lads got paid or anything like that. But it wasn't until the beginning of this month. So they had literally a month and a bit where they weren't getting any wages in the bank. And this geezer had his mortgage to pay, he had his car to pay, he had his kids fucking obviously to feed his kids. So what the community did was obviously we got just click and collect or the Morrison's delivered to your front door. So what lads were doing was buying the shopping to get delivered to the front door. That way, it was the individual didn't need to be embarrassed by asking on the forum. They didn't need to be embarrassed by having a face-to-face with somebody. All they did, mate, was write down a list of what they needed. Obviously, not taking the piss like fucking 600 Lambert and Butler and fucking 4 bottles of vodka. But obviously, the bare essentials of food for the kids. So, like, this is what I love about our community because lads were, well, and women, well, everyone, warriors were coming together to pay for somebody shopping that they never met in their life to get delivered to the front door without a thank you or anything, which is fucking outstanding.
Mate, it's amazing, mate.
And it's down to people like you, mate, who are honest to the community, who want to better the community we're in and become bigger, a better family. Because I see the community, I don't see it as a group. I don't see it as anything else. I find it a family where you help each other get employment. If you hear about something going on, such as free courses, you put on the forums and stuff like that. That's why I'm investing a lot of my time now into the. We've got a new website getting up and loaded, got the Instagram page, Twitter page, because I want more individuals who are not on Facebook, but on other social media groups to be able to be part of our community. Because we need to help more people than just that one position.
Yeah, not everyone's on Facebook, Instagram, things like that,
Yeah.
and just have like a consolidated platform in order to like socialize on or read up on info.
Yeah, so that's what I've made the. It's going to go live tomorrow. I've made the web page made to let other warriors be able to get into the group, which is fucking mega. So your shop is. You want to explain to where your shop is, mate, and what it's about?
So originally we wanted a shop. We wanted to set up a place where it was pretty much on a high street, and people could sort of come to it and socialise, so to speak, and easy to find. But we moved into a premises, and it was all done on a handshake.
Yeah.
And
What a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah, it was a gentleman's agreement with a civvy, a ruthless businessman, mate, who I didn't really know at the time.
Yeah.
And we moved in there. We bought everything for the shop, mate. It's pretty much in here now. And yeah, the roof was fucked, mate.
The roof was?
Yeah, it was like a fishing net. So we moved in when it was pretty much summer, coming to the end of summer. And we give ourselves 3 months to build it.
You didn't check for deadfall, mate?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I didn't look up,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I wished I fucking had, mate.
That fucking deadfall again.
But yeah, we just pretty much got to the finishing touches. Literally putting all the garments out and stuff, and we had really bad rainfall and it destroyed half of our floor. And
I remember, mate. I remember when you said me. I was like, "Fuck."
So I said to him, "Are you going to sort the roof?" And he was like, "No." So I started pulling the thing down in front of him. I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm moving." So I pulled it down, and we had loads of issues anyway. And we came back to the unit we're in now, and we're not allowed to. We're not supposed to sort of do
shopping from the actual
retail.
Yeah,
we're not
so
allowed
a
to
geezer
retail.
can't walk into your shop and buy it.
We're only allowed to do a certain percent.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like even when we were advertising that we were open, when I was living off my savings and stuff, we didn't really get that many people.
Yeah.
We sort of christened it. We had an open night where
Yeah.
It was pretty good. Like, we got a lot of people come, and it would have been good to sort of have that.
Yeah.
But
you couldn't. Yeah.
to be honest, I'm pretty glad with the way things are going. Like, online wise, it keeps the overheads down. I don't think we're in a position to retail from a shop. And then 3, we've got other sort of ideas where we want to go. We want to open up we want to start a YouTube channel, which we've called The History of Violence.
Yeah.
And we're going to turn part of the shop into a studio.
Mate.
And it's just basically going to get guys around who are willing to talk about specific operations.
Yeah.
So it's basically keeping that history alive.
Yeah, same.
So if we can, going back as far as, various different conflicts like Borneo and things like that, people who are still alive and who are willing to discuss their sort of experiences. Yeah. But it's not going to be like a generic overview of that person. We want to get down into the nitty gritty of like operation specifics without sort of getting into trouble with it. Yeah. Just like their experiences on that day, so to speak. And sort of like try and get the true reality of what warfare is, rather than what the news portray it to be.
Exactly. And that's going to be, it's going to be on YouTube, did you say?
Yeah, we're going to be pushing it on YouTube. We've got a couple of people lined up at the moment for it. It's just a case of waiting for this lockdown to be lifted. So I've got 1 more week left at work, doing my 9 to 5, and then after that, I've got 2 weeks off where I'm going to get to graft, pulling various bits and pieces down and getting the studio set up ready for lockdown lifting, and then getting some guests in.
Yeah, because it come out today, didn't it, that maybe, I don't know, there was like 5 tiers of when Boris Johnson said we can start opening shops, and it's like July time, didn't it, for retail, I think it was.
Yeah, where they're going to potentially open up cafes and restaurants and retail.
Yeah, that's good, mate. It gives people a sort of timeline to be able to prep and prepare. So, for instance, I've been looking at I was meant to have one next month, but I was looking at doing RVs. But obviously that's going to be pushing out till after October because obviously COVID-19. But I was looking at maybe using one of your place as well for maybe a catch up and brew of we'll call it the RV, obviously.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've already discussed it.
Yeah.
So, like, potentially having this as an RV. I know Will from Foxtrot PT. He's he's over on Instagram and that. He's on about doing he's already held one at HR4K.
Yeah.
So like a social media event for all the guys who are on social media who don't sort of interact. Then they can, come have a bit of a get together, a brew, a barbecue, just a social sort of gathering.
See, as a community, mate, we're lucky because we've got forces with Scott, and Scott does fucking outstanding things, mate, and his team in forces behind the scenes where lads will order, they'll obviously get all the equipment, but the welfare that they're doing behind the scenes that people don't know about is fucking outstanding, mate. So, for instance, getting organised and stuff ready for when this lockdown's over to try and get the warrior community together to have a catch up, have a brew, and he's got the same sort of system. He's got like a warehouse where he sells all the stuff from his shop, but it's more of a community as well. Forces Wares, where he's got his community, we've got our community come together and just become this massive family, mate, which is outstanding.
Yeah, it's good when you have that community, like when you can sort of rely on each other as well, even though like people have similar businesses or you know what I'm trying to get at. It's good that people can rely on others, because you never know when you're going to need someone.
Oh yeah, 100%, mate. Especially in the veteran community, it's a small community, mate, and you see it all the time. Where, do you know this bloke? Yeah, I know him. Do you know him? So everyone knows each other, and it's good now that the veteran communities come together to help each other.
It is, mate. It was something we were wanting to do up this way. I mean, I know we tried getting the ball in motion a while ago, where we wanted to have this as a Warriors RV where guys can come have a brew, and we were working on. Well, we had some therapists as well, some local therapists who were wanting to charity based, like no payments or private therapy with a therapist for the guys up in the northeast. I mean, we could still pull the trigger on that.
Yeah,
We just never
100%,
had.
mate, 100%. The problem I've been having, mate, is obviously we've got full-time jobs, mate. I'm in away with work all the time, mate. And the longest I was getting before was, say, 2 weeks at home, and then I was away for another 6 to 7 weeks, and I was back home. So I was just trying to tie down somewhere. But now, this COVID, I've done a lot of planning, mate, for dates for the future where we can come to yours, have an RV. Like you said, open your warehouse, not the shop, you know, to sell obviously over a thing. But open the warehouse, have a brew, mate, and obviously try and get other assets in to talk to the Warriors and stuff.
100% up for that, like.
I'm just going to read some of these questions now, mate, see if there's any more. If you've got any questions, just smash them up now and we'll try and get some off Smudge on anything from when he first joined the army, 473 selections, the 473 itself, on to leaving the army and the circuit. Is there any coming up?
I don't know how to. I've seen a couple of people comment.
There's lots of advice in this, so if you do want to read it, lads, and, there's loads of advice in here from people who are going through the same sorts of experiences.
I don't think I can get it on my phone, mate. All the
So I'm just
questions
reading
and
the thing. I can't go through all that, so a million of them. Have you got any funny last points, mate? Have you?
I mean, for me, it's pretty much the first time I've openly gone on like a Facebook Live and that.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, mate. So the first time, this is my second time. First time I did a video was when I first made Warriors RV, and I've always shit myself about coming back on camera. You know, I can't do all this blogging shit. And I was sat at home and thinking there must be something I can do to help more people, because some people don't like reading posts. Some people like the interaction of sitting there with a brew, watching conversations. And I got a lot of motivation from Hugh Kerr from HR podcasts, ex-Free Para Sniper. Yeah. And he gave me a lot of motivation to come on this on the community itself. And if I'm honest, he's pushed me onto this to do it, because I thought he's fucking doing an outstanding job of HR podcast. Maybe I can do something for the community itself by doing live feeds like this. Yeah,
definitely. I think for me, it's a confidence thing. I've lost like a mass amount of confidence. Like, I don't know where it's come from, but just doing this, it's chilled me out straight away. Yeah. And all I want to do, I want to put a face to the brand, and I want to be able to talk to my audience as well. Yeah, about the brand, our plans and things. So doing this has just encouraged me more, and
that's what I wanted to do, mate. I wanted to bring on entrepreneurs, mate. I wanted to bring on motivational people. I wanted to bring on people who have hit rock bottom and now climbing up the ladder. And I've also got blokes who want to come on now who are still at shit heap, who are going to come on and talk about the fucking dark day that they're still in and how they're going to get out of it. And that'll be more of they're talking about that. And then people like you can then message in saying, well, I did this, I did that. So I'll be coming from two different sides of the field. But honestly, mate, this talk today, honestly, has been fucking outstanding, mate.
No, anytime, mate. I mean, do it again if you want at some point. You know,
yeah, definitely.
Just hit me up and we'll crack on.
So just while we're on it as well, so the future plans for Warriors RV is we're going to go live tomorrow with the Warriors RV website. And the website itself has got it's got blogs from warrior entrepreneurs, warriors who have been in dark places now risen, such as Smudge, onto having a beautiful family. He's got a good business that's going to rise, inshallah, rise to making fucking a lot of money. And that's hopefully soon he'll be able to quit the 9-to-5 job and be able to run Red Coat Apparel on his own. But as a community, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's helped out with COVID-19, who have helped people get employment during COVID-19. A big shout out to Carl Manning, who fucking literally overnight must have employed about 150 warriors overnight for the COVID-19 security. There's lots of shout outs I need to do, but I need to write them down actually, do it properly, but not on this podcast. But we're going to try and do this every Sunday night now, which gives you motivation for the rest of the week to be able to realise that there is something that you can be able to achieve and aim towards. A lot of things that you learn in the army is obviously making small goals to make a big difference in life. And that's something that I do every fucking day. I'll wake up in the morning, I'll do have the same routine, I'll make my bed, I'll obviously crack on, have a shower, do some fizz. So I feel like that routine you still need to keep, even though there's a fucking dark time still ahead of us with COVID-19. People don't know when they go back to work. People are stuck in countries such as Iraq, Afghanistan, Africa, not knowing when they're going to get home to see their family. But if we all stay together and stay as a community, I feel like we'll be able to get through this better than if we're sat on our own in the fucking house. But Smudge, honestly, mate, it's been fucking a pleasure, big man, for coming on.
No, anytime. I mean, if there's any of the guys up in the northeast who are watching now and they're having a bit of a shit time, you know, drop me a message. I'm more than happy to fucking RV and have a chat and point you in the right direction with regards to therapy. Anything. Just if anyone who wants to chat, just fucking give me a shout, man.
So what I'm going to do, mate, I'm going to have. So what I'll do is for everyone listening now, if you own a business, if you own a sort of hub that you'd like to open up to Warriors RV, send me your address, send me your contact details, and I can then put it on the new website. So for warriors such as is around your AO mate, he can just look at it and go, okay, there's one beside me, just she walks, gets a brew with you and has a talk. Because sometimes that's what people need, is to fucking talk.
It is, mate. It just gets some shit off the chest, just a bit of advice. Yeah, that's all it takes.
I'm going to come down for a free t-shirt, mate. I'm only joking.
We'll do a shirt swap, mate.
Yeah, I'm only joking.
Can I wear that one that you're wearing now so I can smell you?
Yeah, I'm not going to watch it, mate. You can have it. But yeah, mate, I'll put your details on the website, and then lads can click on it and then see where your shop is, mate.
Mate, I appreciate that. Thank you.
And then just before we finish, I'd like to give a big shout out to Luke Johnson from Ranger Media. He's a Ranger brother of mine from the battalion. He's making a Warriors RV video for the community about how we started all the way through, obviously, the conflicts that we've been in as a community until this present day. So Ranger Media, that's an up-and-coming fucking thing for YouTubers. And if anyone needs videos made, Smudge yourself included, mate, if you need videos made, Luke's fucking outstanding at making these videos. You follow him on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Ranger Media, and you'll see the stuff he's doing for the army and the battalion is fucking outstanding, mate.
I've seen some of his stuff on Instagram, mate. He's fucking pretty good.
He's fucking good,
there's
mate.
A couple of good filmmakers. Yeah, there's a couple of good filmmakers out there.
He's a bit of a bellend, though, mate, but he's all right.
Is he?
No, I'm only joking, mate. He's a good lad, mate. No, but yeah, but that's what I like to do, mate, is try and promote as many fucking veterans as possible, little businesses. So we're going to try and make Ranger Media fucking massive, so companies like you, mate, our Redcoat Apparel, be fucking Ali if you could use him and stuff like that for videos, mate, for like that YouTube stuff. Be fucking mega.
Mate, cheers for that, yeah.
That's mega, mate. And any points, mate, before we fucking bog out?
No, mate, thanks for having me. And to the guys who've tuned in and that, thanks for listening.
Yeah, honestly, mate, I appreciate it, mate.
Awesome.
You were the first guest on, mate. I've been wanting to do it for a while, if I'm honest, but I've never had the confidence to come on and talk in front of the whole community itself. So I really appreciate that, mate. And then once we get the go ahead, mate, for when this COVID-19 fucks off, we'll get an RV set up down your location and get an RV set up for Forces Wear with Scott, who will be on later on, one of the Quest speakers. Happy, mate?
100%, dude.
Happy days.
Yeah, gleaming.
Right, so next Quest is going to be next Sunday. I'll advertise during the week. He's going to come on. Another Quest speaker. I just need to make sure that details are finalised before revealing the Quest speaker. And we're going to do this every Sunday, like I said, to enable you to have a new motivation for the week and therefore being able to set new goals. We've also got Craig. He's doing all the fitness. You'll see him every day. He'll put on, or every week he'll put on a couple of PT sessions. If you are doing that and you want to obviously compete against each other, try sticking down your